Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Chicago White Sox. We're attempting to go back to back. We just won the World Series last season, and arguably not as good a season as the season before. Now we're trying to see if we can run it back and win another title. In terms of lineup changes, the big one is Dan Halpern. Although Halpern has had a couple cups of coffee with us before, this is his first start in the major leagues. This is his first chance to show what he can do over the course of a full season. Herb Berry slides over to shortstop, replacing Josh Gibbs, who is actually, believe it or not, oh, he went to the Nationals, that's right. I thought he was... Oh, did they take him in the Rule 5? They did. Okay, that's what happened. Okay. Well, anyways. So that's it for lineup changes, really. This is really last year's lineup with just those two changes. Barry sliding over and Halpern starting at second. In terms of the rest of the offense, Danny Ventura was a free agent acquisition for us, somebody that we hope would stabilize the infield. Joel Sampson was also a new acquisition, although we got him around the deadline last season. Now he's actually going to be playing meaningful innings for us as a backup catcher. John Beamish is an old friend, somebody that's actually getting a chance to have a big role in the club. And then Armando Beltran is in a similar boat. We acquired him at the deadline. He actually did get into some games last year, so we can see how that goes from there. Pitching-wise, this is basically last year's rotation with the addition of Alex Garcia starting every game. You may recall that last year we had... what was the dude's name? I was just thinking it, and then it just went right up the back of my brain. Josh Vantine. Mr. Vantine, we will always remember your contributions to the World Series club. But you got too expensive, and I wasn't willing to give you the money that you thought you deserved, so it's Garcia time. Other pitching Musa notes, an old friend returns, this being Dongmoon Am. You'll recall we signed him initially to his first major league contract back in 2027. Now he's back to offer some stability in the bullpen, which is very well received. And then rookie Andrew Picard. Look, I have serious concerns about him, but I needed a rubber-armed pitcher to give us innings when we need them, and he can certainly fill that role pretty effectively. Jojo Tillman, I don't know. I don't know, guys. It seems like every time I think I can quit him, he's just like, but what if you didn't? What if you kept me? We're going to keep Tillman for right now. But Adam Wiley has a very high probability of getting his spot in the near future. But I would rather he start and get some real innings in, so we can see if he'd actually be a starting pitcher. He's also a lefty, and we wanted a righty in the bullpen, so... It ain't that different. It is not that different from last year's club. We did actually let Jose Altamar leave. But we brought him back on another one-year deal, so... The interesting thing about this particular season is how well we did last year. Can we do better this year? I think it's possible. I don't think it's likely, but I think it is possible. Ransom and Lopez, you can both go to the minors. And then we can go ahead and get started. So we more or less ran it back. We did make some changes, and I think they're changes that are for the better. But it's certainly not... what's what I'm looking for? Nothing dramatic changed about this club. Nothing dramatic. One new position player, two new pitchers, three new pitchers, excuse me. One of them was actually an old pitcher. And that's what we're kind of looking at. I'm not even going to look at what happened the first month of the season. It was only a couple of weeks. We got no useful information at this point. What concerns you the most? Honestly, I don't know that anything in particular does. Injuries are obviously something we're going to have to deal with. Losing Shiflett for a couple weeks is not ideal. Who's the next man up offensively? I really like any of these choices. Like, it might become Ransom Returns literally because somebody has to. Or maybe Tobias Kubek comes in and plays first base, maybe. I gotta do something, right? With Shiplet out, I can't just play nobody there. We could put Beltran at first, I guess, which then lets us call up an outfielder instead. Nobody is really all that great offensively. I'm gonna try Kubek again at first base. That's my plan. It's maybe not a great plan, but it's the plan that I've got. We could platoon actually. There's some intelligence in platooning instead. Mr. Beltran, come on in and play first base against right-handed pitching. And then Mr. Kubek, you can slide in and play first against lefties. And then we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Yeah, I am concerned we don't have a ton of talent in the high minors. We have the odd pitcher or two, but we don't have top flight talent that's waiting for an opportunity. And I think it's always a dangerous position to be in as a major league franchise. Unless Kubek has just been vaporizing baseballs, which admittedly he's played kind of okay. But then again, so is Beltran, and Kubek is 29. So I thank you for your 2 weeks. Get back in there, Shiflett. I just feel better with Shiflett on this club. I know he's a reliable bat. That's accomplished a lot in his major league career, so I feel better having him playing first base for us. That's my take anyway. Yeah. Alright. Oh, I guess I should have looked at the team after the first month. Maybe. It's nice to see that eruption of offense. Losing Waters is actually really poopy. It's a big steaming pile of shit, and I don't like it. Because then it makes me ask myself the question, who's the next man up start rotation-wise? And it's probably Adam Wiley, but only because I have genuinely no better option. So we're going to do it. Oscar Balboa is off to a really terrible start, which doesn't make me a happy camper. He's still producing at a fairly high level. He's being victimized by unusually bad luck on balls put into play. But hopefully this settles down very quickly, because we need him to be at his best. John Crank is getting Raul Barrera is getting better. Nice. Adam Wiley is getting significantly better. Alexander Apocalypse. Did I change his name? It was something I might have done. That was the kind of thing I would do, but maybe it's his actual name, which would be even better. That would be Amazeballs. Yeah, losing Waters hurts. Um, it does at that. I suppose some point the butcher's bill. The butcher's bill was going to come due on Danny Rios. I just hoped it wasn't going to be this year. Um, yeah, it sucks. Hopefully he's able to turn it around quickly. His BABIP is really low for his normal skill levels, so hopefully he's ready and waiting to take back over. Dan Halpern's been a nice little surprise. He's an effective hitter so far. He did what I thought he would do, just hit plenty of doubles. He is handling himself well at second, so I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, at least for now. Yeah. Only Raul Valle and Danny Rios are really disappointing offensively. And the truth is, we only have had 2 full seasons with Valle. I'm not really sure what his top tier stuff looks like yet. So we're gonna let him try to figure it out. We probably could do to upgrade a catcher. Jose Hernandez definitely has the glove, but doesn't really have the bat that I'm looking for. But if we just need a really great defender, it's probably him. Joel Samson has a chance to be a really meaningful catcher for us, potentially. So that's something else we could possibly upgrade. We could possibly look into adding a new catcher, maybe. Alright. Hopefully Balboa figures out why he's allowing hits, because the moment his ERA starts to drop, the team looks a lot better. How's Barry handling a shortstop? He's okay. He's actually slightly better than okay. He's nothing spectacular. Like, we're definitely not as strong there now as we did when we had Gibbs, but it's fine. We can live with this. Alright, guys, let's simulate another month of the season. Let's see what happens at the end of June. We need Rios to wake up. I think that is probably the single most important thing that has to happen in the month of June. Or May, rather. We need to see him crushing baseballs, getting on base, and then the rest of the lineup will come alive. Then the rest of the team will just be in that good a situation. Alright. Another month has concluded. I mean, Andy, my pal, this is the number I gotta see you get better. If you want to get meaningful innings in the major leagues, I need to see you not walk people. That'd be amazing. Samson is getting faster, which is fun, I guess. A lot of guys that are just kind of there. Okay. Fine. Alright. We're basically a 500 team right now, which is really shitty, but we're going to make a couple quick changes here. First of all, Halpern has proven himself. He's proven that he can handle the ball. We're going to let him hit above Valle. Move up Shiplet. How's John Beamish handling his role? John Beamish is really struggling. I guess I move both these guys up then. Danny Rose is slowly improving, but he's still not what we need him to be. If he can start figuring out how to hit for contact again, then this lineup becomes very scary. It's the second best lineup in the league. It's really pitching that we need to see stabilize a bit. Herberry's fine. But I'd say Herberry's off his game a little bit. His power is a little bit worse. but I'm still pretty happy with what we're getting. I still think he's a genuine superstar, and I'm not going to touch him. Top lineup isn't the problem. I could move up Hernandez instead of Rios. I still feel like Rios' raw power is way too scary to put any lower than fourth. Um, he's still getting on base. He needs to put the ball into play more. That's the only thing he needs to get better at. If he does, then we'll have a really, really powerful and scary lineup. Notice Bubbles lost about a run off of his ERA. It's because his hits are starting to normalize a bit. He's getting hit a little bit harder than I'd like. A 416 slugging isn't the best, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Alex Garcia has turned out to be a fairly nice starting pitcher. He's waited a little bit to get his chance, but he's proving that we were correct to give him a chance. Adam Wiley's going to have growing pains. He's only made 3 starts, so I'm not going to make any drastic judgments right now. Kid's got to figure it out, so we're going to give him some time. All right. Bullpen looks mostly fine. On is struggling. Are you doing stupid things with On? Is On facing righties? You're letting him face righties who are completely vaporizing him. All right. Message received. No more middle relief for you. You're just coming in to face lefties and nothing else. All right. Everyone else is fine. Let's play. I don't really care about the combine at this point. I'm just gonna let my scouting director decide what we do. Hey, it's Jordan. Oh, it's August back. I thought it was Jordan back. Didn't the guy retire a while ago? Yeah, do what you want, man. Oh, the combine starts tomorrow. Got it. Okay. Scouty boy, off you go. Make yourself happy. That's all I really want, is that you're happy. I guess let's ask ourselves a very painful question. What if Rios never figures it out? What if his injury from last season has crippled his ability to be an effective hitter? My front system is why this team is so fucking good. So how about you settle your tits, bro? We're only content. I don't think that's a reason to change up the coaching lineup just yet, because like the issue is more Joel Mangrum than anything else because he doesn't get along well with my existing team. I guess Michael Ahmed, who isn't even playing that big a role on the club, he's somebody we can move on from. That's actually a good idea. Let's get some fresh blood on the coaching staff, and that'll be good. So Sergio Santos, enjoy your extension. Not so fast, you. And then let's offer everybody else in the minors an extension. One coach is like, I'm not so sure. It's Darwin Rivera. I would love for Darwin Rivera to stick around if he's willing to. I think he's super cool. Okay. We'll need to decide in the offseason who gets the promotion, who takes over the third base coach over Michael Ahmed. Because I'd like to get this up to happy or even better. And it means replacing either Santos or Ahmed, and I'd rather replace Ahmed. Just because I think Santos is a little bit more useful to me. Maybe actually should have been Santos. Oh well. That we fired. Maybe. Maybe. Are we like dead last in terms of minor league system? I bet we're probably fairly close to it. Reports, minor league system rankings. We're third to last. That's about what I expected. We desperately need some more talent in the farm system. Now, the reason that we look so bad is because we've been so successful. And let's not forget how many of our current players are homegrown. That's 4 draft picks in the starting lineup. International free agent signing, also me. He joined the team from me. Plus some shrewd trades, plus some scouting discoveries. Like, these are free players that we happen to locate. Like, Alberto Maini may be one of the most lucky finds we've ever had. Right? What about the pitching staff? Is this all brand new? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Jojo Tillman doesn't really count as anything special, but Garcia, Picard, and Charles are all our draft picks, plus the injured Chris Waters. 3 guys in the bullpen. Like, I've done my job. I have built a great farm system. The problem is we've been so good for so long that we don't have the opportunities to find that talent. Like, we're not picking in the top 20 even. We're usually picking toward the end of the first round. And it's always going to make it harder to find the elite talents, the kinds of guys that show up on the flashy lists. Personal message: Pulido is getting worse, Barrera is getting better. Shiflett is slightly worse. Halpern is about the same. Rios losing speed isn't the end of the world. Like, I'm not going to cry about that, but I guess it's a little bit sad. It's a little disappointing. Edwin Lucio, you're like the one high-level hitter in this minor league system. I would love for you to start pushing the envelope. Now, don't mean just getting faster. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting faster. Obviously, I don't want you to not be faster, but let's not get silly. Rios is crawling toward respectability. He is 22% better than than a major league regular. It's not that he's hitting badly. It's that he's a god-awful outfielder. Like, he's really bad in the outfield. And so that makes a lot of his offensive contributions just disappear. I don't have a solution to this problem. I mean, I guess you could try Bill Shiflett at second base. I guess you could trade Bill Shiflett. Does anybody even want him? I don't even want Shiflett gone. But he is very clearly plateauing. Like, he's very clearly just a really good hitter. And while I don't hate that in the slightest, if it's forced me to play Rios in the field, then I have concerns. What is even the market for Mr. Rios at this time? Or Shiflett? Could I get, like, a big prospect package? Is someone going to look at Shiflett and be like, that's the guy that's going to make us? I mean, I am getting more deals than I thought. I need, like, 3 grains to consider it. Like, I don't have to trade Shiflett. I can simply struggle and let Rios continue to play left. I could play Rios at first. But again, that doesn't solve my problem, which is that Hernandez is playing. Like, that is non-negotiable. Hernandez is playing. And Shiflett can't play anywhere but first. So I have... Yeah, I don't know what the answer to this... I don't know how we solve this. But I think it can be solved. I think this is just the world that we live in right now. Maybe we need to stop fucking around with the lineup and just accept where we are. And And except that Rios is an effective hitter and a shitty, shitty defender. And maybe someday we can fix that. I think one thing we need to keep our eyes on, though, is Bautista has lost a step. He's not the defender he once was. And I think that further exposes... It makes Rios look even worse. Because there isn't this amazing Gold Glove caliber defender that's covering center for him. So maybe upgrading defensively is something we need to consider. That may be something we can also address in the offseason. Because I don't think I have anybody here that's that great. I have plenty of outfielders that could replace Bautista, like Mark Woods, just like off the top of my head, is probably capable. But finding somebody who's an active upgrade is a bit trickier. Matt Colosi only plays left field. I would love to trade you for somebody that's a bit more versatile, actually. I just don't need another bat that can't do anything but hit. Really? Not a single soul wants Matt Colosi. Well, that sucks. I guess I'm not surprised, but I am bummed out. John Cole is a legit shortstop. John Cole has a real chance to be somebody interesting on this club. Evan Lucio is not a center fielder. He can't play center at all. And Will Cabrera is fine. Do I have any great center fielders? Anybody that can really paper over Rios' shortcomings? I really need to move on from Bautista. I really do. He's getting away with it because he's very, very fast and he's a fairly capable center fielder, but I need somebody who is exceptional. Minor leagues. Wait, what? Oh, we're looking at pictures. That doesn't help. Yeah, we've got a bunch of guys that are slightly above average. I would love to get a genuinely good defensive center fielder. I think that would probably help us out a fair bit. Who's on the trade block right now? And I would like... Fielding at center field, at least 60. Does such a person even exist on the trade block? Oh, there's a few. Anthony Pack Jr. is actually pretty solid. He's 65, 65, 55. What is Bautista? He's 65, 65, 60. So Bautista is slightly better, but Pack is much faster, which I think helps him cover ground better. Interesting. Royelny Strop is really good. He's like really, really good defensively. Anthony Milan has a kind of a weak arm, but it's otherwise pretty good. I don't think Pac Jr. offers enough of a difference over Bautista, so I think we maybe let this one go. And we maybe see what could be available later on. I don't think Rios being a statue in left field is hurting us as much as the fact he's not hitting as much as he used to. Um, Kyoji Doi having a terrible season is by far more impactful. The man decided that giving up home runs looks like fun. Um, Balboa is better than he looks, but he's still not where we'd like him to be. Charles Garcia looked fine. Wiley is still struggling. Yeah, Wiley, he needs more opportunities. I'm not going to give up on him yet, but he is definitely not handling himself well in the major leagues. So adding a veteran fifth starter could also have an impact on our season, I think. How many of the White Sox have made the All-Star team? Jay Horner is 1. Edwin Hernandez is 2. Herb Berry is 3. I've got 3 All-Stars. That's probably acceptable. That's probably what I expected. Like, Oscar Balboa doesn't have gaudy numbers. If you want to argue that maybe Dan Halpern should have gotten some consideration, I guess, but I'm not that upset that he didn't make it. I mean, I guess you say, what about Jesse Walshaw? He kind of sucks. But he's also Seattle's only All-Star, so... This is way more depressing. Jason Bliss is the only guy here from the White Sox. Sigh. Losing Pulido isn't the end of the world. This just gives me another chance to evaluate a reliever. I want Rockle continuing to pitch in the minors for a bit longer, I think. I think Jason Maloney is ready, though. We can try him. Is there anybody else I'd rather give the opportunity to? Ambroso's lack of control still disappoints me. Conway is fine, but he doesn't really offer me anything interesting. One of these days, I guess Ryan Jasser should actually get an opportunity, but... Let's do Maloney. Let's see what Mr. Maloney can accomplish for us. You know who has low-key been a really good reliever for us? JoJo Tillman. Didn't see that coming. Adding a reliever could also be a really great idea for around the trade deadline. I think there's actually plenty of ways we can make this team just a little bit better that'll improve our chances come postseason time. But it's going to take a bit of luck. Did they say the Spartanburgers? That's exactly what it says. That's fantastic. Look at this logo, you guys. That's incredible. I love it so much. Hub City. Where are you located, Hub City? You're not telling me. I have many questions about them. I guess I could just look it up. Like, Hub City, I've heard used to describe like Boston, but I don't think that's it. Hub City, Spartanburgers. They're in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Well, there you go. That's really awesome. I love it. I love great minor league names. It makes me happy to see them. Anyways, let's go to the draft. All right. We need offensive talent, and we need it very badly. Especially with somebody that can play offense and defense effectively. Stephen Harkey is not that guy. Stephen Harkey is a hard miss for me. I do like Russ Hames. I think he's a pretty solid choice. I could see him working out quite well. We also like the looks of Mike, don't call me Spiro Agnew. Nope. Okay. I am not looking for the next Danny Rios. I'm looking for the next complete player. I get it, my scouting director has a fucking type, and I appreciate that, but get over it, bro. Okay? Like, genuinely, I need complete players that excel at every facet of the game. Not, I can't play the outfield. Um, Ray Evans is at least a capable infielder. I know he doesn't have a ton of power. I know this offensive portfolio doesn't always succeed. I believe in this far more strongly than anything else I was just offered. So we're going to draft Ray Evans. Like, we can't keep building around the exact same profile, the big slugger that strikes out all the time. Or I'm a first baseman and nothing else. Like, I'm actually kind of intrigued by Bill Anklam. Nope, same problem. I mean, at least Bill Anklam is. I don't know why I would take Bill Anklam instead. I think Russ Hames is somebody I could get into just because he's a fairly competent catcher, so that's something that I can draft and feel good about. We like Mike Sellers. I think Sellers is a well-rounded enough bat that even though he doesn't have an obvious position, it's somebody that I'm willing to take. Let's make that happen. I am, to be perfectly blunt with you, I am not enthralled by this draft class. I think there's okay players, but there's nobody here that I'm like, finally, the kind of player we've been looking for. I don't hate DeGiro there. I don't hate Alan Pledger either. We like Marty O'Brien, do we? Why do we like Marty O'Brien? Because he can't play second base? Um, if I couldn't, if I could afford Jody Burham, I would very strongly consider it because he looks like he's a pretty talented player. But I know that I can't. Graham Dixon only plays first base. Like, what are we even on about? Jason Stokes is an acceptable third baseman, but like, I am not seeing anything here that interests me. I don't like Adam Peck either. I don't need another soft tossing starter. That doesn't interest me. I'll take Jose Zayas, but I'll be honest, no, I'm not going to do that. If I don't trust my scouting director, I probably need to fire him, but also like I have better choices that I can make. Who is the best center fielder in this class? It's Rick Price. Rick Price is an average player with a tremendous glove. It's kind of early to take a player like a Rick Price, but I still think it's the right choice for my team. I desperately need a great glove in this farm system, and he offers that. Are there any amazing shortstops? No, there's a couple that are tolerable. I could take Brett West. Yeah, let's take Brett West. I accept this. I know that I just committed two gigantic reaches. I fully 100% understand that that is what happened here. I genuinely don't think it matters. Um, this low in the draft, taking Daijiro Fukuhara seems reasonable. Um, let's do that. I know it's going to cost you a fair bit of money, but I don't care. I think he's worth it. Jonathan Miranda, you're in. This late in the draft, we're already in the eighth round. A guy like Jose Tovar is pretty solid. I think that's a guy that I can take. Apologies to Micah McMichael. I like Willie Chavaria. Let's grab him. I would be enamored with Carlos Rodriguez. Let's grab him aboard here. Johnny Leitner doesn't play the field at all with any skill. You like Eddie Rose? How do I feel about Eddie Rose? Well, first of all, how do I feel about Jason Harrison? I feel okay. You could take Jason Harrison. I don't see why not. I think we're just drafting too far back to expect to get the kinds of players we used to get, right? Matt Skewis is very acceptable. Let's do it. And let me sort by just raw unadulterated contact. You know what? John Buck, you're in. I was gonna say maybe you'll be a great announcer, but then I realized that was Jack Buck that I was thinking of. I mean, I know a lot of people like Joe Buck. I think he is acceptable. He's certainly better now that he's far, far away from Tim McCarver, who I found to be just incredibly obnoxious every time he opened his mouth. I would say I shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but you know, I don't give a shit. He was a bad announcer. He was bad at his job. I don't know why people liked him as much as they did. But I strongly dislike listening to any baseball game that he was calling. Because for a man who never played for the Yankees in his entire major league career, I think that should never be overstated, right? Tim McCarver. This is not what I anticipated complaining about today, but here we are. Tim McCarver played for the St. Louis Cardinals, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Montreal Expos, the Boston Red Sox, and the Phillies again. At no point did he ever play for the Yankees, and yet the man would not miss an opportunity to bring up the Yankees in any game he ever called. The Yankees weren't even there. And while I get it, the Yankees are the most popular team in America because people are cowards and don't like teams because they like them. They like them because they're cool. But like, you don't have to bring them up in every conversation. Like, it's not mandatory. I found that really obnoxious about it. It made it very difficult for me to listen to him. Hey, maybe if he watching you, maybe he'd be like, you know who sucks? That Avi guy. He's the worst YouTuber on the planet. Maybe he's right. I don't know. But I do know what I like and don't like, and I do not like his announcing. Um, so hopefully, wherever he is now, he has gone to his great reward. He's doing something he enjoys that isn't announcing baseball games. Um, uh, the draft just kind of sucks at this point. Like, there's just nothing left to get excited about. You know what, bro? You do what you want. You've earned the right to pick the last couple picks in this draft, right? Man, I don't know why I'm so salty right now, other than the fact that my team is just not the best. Uh, this was not a good draft class. I struggle to see anybody here that's got a chance to play meaningful games in the major leagues. Russ Hames, maybe. Rick Price and Brett West, I feel better about. Fukuhara, maybe. Ray Evans, possibly. But we needed high level talent and we didn't get it. And it's because there wasn't talent to get. It's the curse of being good at the game, I guess. It's the curse of being successful. Is it's harder for you to get the draft position you need in order to get people. Losing Dave Ventura actually low-key sucks. Who's my next, like, classic utility guy? It's not Pablo Craig, who plays first base and nothing else. It's not Mike Corcoran, who plays third base and nothing else. It's not Chris Cunningham, who plays shortstop and a little bit of third base. Like, I need all the positions. It's Art Isbell. Welcome to the team, Art. You are the new utility infielder. I mean, I guess you will be if the game just decided, oh, Barry will just back up at every position. He'll play every single second of every single day. Matt Puess is on the move. Okay. That's a thing. I'm not saying I couldn't use an upgrade of the bullpen. I'm saying that I don't think Jeremy Gonzalez is it. Nick Turner's not terrible. He can actually handle himself in the outfield. Gary Waters sucks. It's really about getting Billy Reeg, isn't it? I forgot about Billy Reeg. He's probably the guy I should have called up, in all honesty. Does adding Jeremy Gonzalez move the pitching needle? I mean, he probably replaces On. Maybe. I don't know. I'd rather have a starter than I would a reliever, so I think I politely decline this offer. I think it is painfully obvious that Andrew Wiley is not ready for the big time. That has been established at this point. Kent Hull. Eh. Like, this is not... This is the definition of it doesn't matter, is what it is. Like, there's nothing there that makes a difference to anybody anywhere. Alright, my shopping list is middle reliever, possibly starting pitcher, I swear to fucking god, if you just took out Edwin Hernandez for the season, I will lose it. Oh my god. Well, I know something I need now, which is I need an outfielder. That is the worst timing game. As I was leaving my lips, I'm like, it's gonna injure me, isn't it? It's gonna kill my player. And that's exactly what happened. Okay. Good news, I can now shift Rios over to DH. You can focus on what he does best, which is hitting baseballs. To the delight of fans all across the league. This also means, however, that I am trapped. I have to make an additional offensive, and I really didn't want to be forced to do it, because that's how you end up with players you don't actually need. I like Yaru Padilla just fine. I don't like keeping him, though. Alex Castillo would be an amazing addition to this club. That I will do. I like Bittner a little too much to trade him. I like Escott too. I know you've got to give up something to get something. I understand that, but you're asking for players that I'm actually quite fond of. And especially a guy that's going to be very expensive to sign in the offseason. Like, this guy is not going to be cheap if we decide to keep him. Why can't you take somebody that's, like, obviously flawed, like Gerard Rodriguez? How does that grab you? Wow, really? Done. Like, I wasn't serious about that. I had no idea that would work, but I am totally on board for it. Adam Wiley, get your ass into the minors. Alex Castillo, welcome to the majors. For a team that will value you appropriately. Before I give you $11 billion, I should definitely let you finish the year with the club. Definitely. There we go. All right. So that's one thing that happens this offseason. Okay, great. Now let's fix the offense, which has to be fixed quite severely. I am not saying that we are completely boned. I hate, by the way, the continued trading deadline day causes issues. Oh, it's right here. Okay, fine. Is there a hitter I can get excited about? Vinny Montero. I could get excited about him, but he only plays first, and that puts me right back where I was before. I want an outfielder. I want a big old thumper who plays the outfield. That's what I would like. James Wood does not qualify as a big old thumper anymore. He is a medium thumper. Ethan Salas. Didn't you play for me at one point? Nope. Okay. Jose Flores is even more of a dumpster fire in the outfield than Danny Rios. Orlando Rodriguez is, I think, the kind of guy that would help us out. Orlando, what is it going to cost for me to add you to this club? Way too fucking much. What if I offered you Pablo Craig? It doesn't move the needle. I don't want him that badly. I know we need help in the outfield. I understand that. I'm not going to sacrifice any player that's that good for that. Hell, I could just play fucking... I could call somebody up and let one of my rookies play the outfield. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I made my big deal. No, I actually do want to look at a reliever, actually. I'd love to add Mark McIntyre. What would it take for me to add on Mr. Mark McIntyre? Are you wanting a lot from him? You're wanting a lot for him. I guess I get it, but it still makes me sad, and I was hoping I could get a deal. He is by far the best pitcher being offered on the market, so I completely understand that they want a lot for him. That's what I would do, too. I'm not paying $15 million for Josh Mulvihill, but I might be tempted to do it for Jeremy Gonzalez. Alright, here's my offer to you. I'm not going to do that. No. Alan Sanders. 10 million. I want to win this year. I want to win every year, but I don't want to win so badly that I want to mortgage my future for it. Jose Flores is just uninteresting. Yeah, I think we just end the deadline. Is there anybody who's a free agent pending that I can't keep besides Castillo? Anyone want Jason Ransom? Is there any interest whatsoever in Mr. Ransom? Could I hold him for ransom, maybe? Possibly. I can get a mediocre reliever for Jason Ransom. What a fantastic deal. What if I ate his salary? What would that do? Just out of curiosity. Nope. I think there's anybody else here that I could potentially trade that would make a difference. Alright. Like, to be clear, getting Castillo on this team and getting him to sign for enough time is pretty exciting. I think we just end the deadline. I'll always skip to the next sim. Maybe somebody offers me something that's exciting, but at this moment, alright. So I now have to add an outfielder. I think Tobias Kubek is perfectly acceptable for that purpose. Kubek's actually a pretty good outfielder. He doesn't have very much range anymore. Alright. So step one, Danny Rios, get your ass as a designated hitter. Who hits third now? It's probably Shiflett. I think Shiflett is probably the best overall hitter to hit third. And then we're going to play Armando Beltran in left field against right-handed pitching, which he's highly capable of doing. Very competent. And then Mr. Kubek here is going to play left field against righties. Lefties, sorry. And he's not an amazing outfielder either, is he? I could just play Beamish, I guess. I don't think Beamish is doing anything special, though. Windows by Nick Anderson. I mean, he's fine. I'm not saying he's not fine. I'm saying I don't know why I would care. You know what, Nick Anderson, I think you've earned at least a chance to play. You're also a lefty. Okay. I'm just gonna send him back down. Like, I know he's like excited to come make a major league debut, and then I have to tell him, no, you're not. Woods is a lefty. Colossi is a switch hitter, but let's be realistic. I don't want him playing ever for any reason. David Manning's lefty. I'm gonna call up Lucio. Let's try it. Right? What do I have to lose? I have many things to lose. I could lose my sanity. But what if I didn't? What if Edwin Lucio turned out to be exactly what I needed and was the key to our success? It could happen. Okay? It could definitely happen. You can't tell me that it can't happen. But it's probably not going to happen. Man, I really don't want Lucio ever playing center field, if I'm honest with you. I don't think he can handle it. That's just how it seems to me. Alright. This is a fascinating episode because I do think we made a huge deadline deal. I think adding a pitcher to the caliber of Castillo for essentially a throwaway prospect is the kind of move we need to make. And we have the ability to sign him in the offseason if we want. This contract's only going up, isn't it? Like, he's been an outstanding pitcher every season of his career. I just don't see a world in which I'm prepared to pay him what he thinks he's worth until I need to sample the goods before I commit to them, right? I mean, getting Danny Ventura back doesn't suck, but it's also not. It doesn't really move the needle, in my opinion. Edwin Hernandez miraculously healing would be far more impactful, in my opinion. I'm very willing to let Art Isbell do your job for you. For the moment. And then Mr. Ventura, you can rehab. I guess I could bring him up when rosters expand if I want. Or her Barry could break his fucking wrist at the worst time of the season. Guys, your injury timing is the worst. Alright. Denny Ventura is an amazing shortstop. He will be playing shortstop. He will not be hitting second. These two things are immutable rights of the world. Where is Mr. Ventura? Here you go. Who is the best overall hitter that's hitting low in the lineup? It's Halpern. Yeah, Halpern, you're going to hit second for the rest of the season. Don't get hurt, I guess. Move up Beamish and Bautista. Lucio. Now, Barry should be back for the postseason, but right now, there's no guarantee that we're going to make the postseason. Our bats have just. Oh my god, would you stop? What the actual fuck, game? What is happening that all of a sudden everyone is getting hurt all the time? Um. Who the fuck even plays center field on this damn roster? I guess it's Mark Woods because somebody has to do it. Um. This has just been like one kick to the balls after the other. Yeah, our team against left-handed pitching is in very, very rough shape right now. We need a very warm September. I'm not asking for a hot September. I think it's asking for too much. I'm asking for a warm one. I'm asking for a competent one. I'm asking for us all to do our very best to make the postseason the year after we won the fucking World Series. Those are the requests that I have of my team. Are we going to be able to do it? I have no idea. Not the slightest idea if we can manage it. Yeah. Adam Wiley has been such a dumpster fire in the majors this year. I don't want to call him up when rosters expand. We can call up Jaster to get some long relief work in. Just help the bullpen ease off a little bit. And then after that, I don't care. Hey, Nick Ambroso finally got that 1 point of control I asked for. We could call him up and let him pitch some too. Maybe. We could bring Kubek back. I'm kind of on board with bringing back Kubek in all honesty. He's a good pinch hitter. Why would I ever play Isbell over Ventura? I mean, I guess Isbell is a better hitter. Like, if you want him to start like once every 5 games, I have no problem with it. I am not playing Lucio. I am not a man that is overly beholden to defense. I actually would sucks. Fine. Let's see what happens. Who plays left field? God, I don't know. Chris Hernandez, maybe. I'm so ready for this season, for something to happen this season to make me not as in pain. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't get the draft picks that you need when you need them. It means that you don't have the depth to recover quickly from injuries. We're probably going to miss the postseason. I have come to grips with that. I mean, if we somehow make it, great, but I think we're screwed. Yeah. Just brutal injury luck. Absolutely brutal injury luck. Completely screwed us this season. Like, there is a ton of value on this draft list, on this injured list, that I can't do anything about. Hernandez, Bautista, and Barry are 3 of the most important hitters on my team. Should they be? Maybe not, but that's where we are, and that's why we missed the postseason. Wow. This was an utterly, utterly brutal season. There's no other way to describe it. Like, okay, 81 and 81 isn't like we're in the absolute doldrums, you're the worst team in history, but it's not good. It's not what you're looking for. And I don't know what we do to get better next season. I truly don't. But I gotta make changes. I've got to make changes. I've got to find a new center fielder. I've got to get a new catcher. I need lots of things. The Giants win the World Series. Good for them. I don't care that they won, but I guess it's better than the Yankees winning. I guess. Man, just... I mean, I guess the benefit is, you know, we get ourselves... Okay, Yarger Bautista. I have nobody to replace you. But I'm going to swing without a net. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, but... Danny Ventura, you're gone. Dongmoon on, you're gone. Jay Horner, you're cool. You can stay. The fans love me. My hitting coach... Oh, the AAA hitting coach retired. Okay. I've got a 3-year deal. The National League has gotten rid of designated hitters. Okay. Look, I have said this too many times. I think this will be the stupidest decision that Major League Baseball would ever make. But I know some people are super excited about no DHs. To which I say, good for you. If that's something that interests you, it doesn't interest me in the slightest. Okay, let's start with the positive here. Dan Halpern did a great job. Dan Halpern was a genuine asset to this team. He's a big reason why we were as effective as we were. He has waited for his chance to show that he can play in the big leagues, and that's precisely what he did. This is not enough from Maini. Maini is being paid stupid amounts of money, and he is playing very poorly. It's not that he's a bad player, it's that he's not good enough. Like, it's just... I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know how else to describe it. A player making this much money should be a 4 or 5 win player, not lucky to be a 3-win player. Same for Shiflett. Shiflett and Maini are both grossly overpaid compared to what they bring to the table. Chris Hernandez put together a literally identical season with just a couple of numbers ticking in either direction. Danny Rios didn't get all the way there in the end, but I think if we can take him out of the field, it will only help. I guess Vaya is better than he looked. Yeah, I'm not... I mean, I wish he was a better catcher. Maybe that's something we need to fix too. Joel Sampson had a good year as a backup. Danny Ventura exists. Beltran and Lucia were both dumpster fires. Yeah. Like, who are my 3 best players? Oh, 2 of them are on the fucking injured list. Right, like, that's really poopy. That really annoys me. Herbert's worth 5 wins and got injured down the stretch. Edwin Hernandez was worth 3.6 wins and got injured down the stretch. He's about to cost me a lot of money, and he got injured at the worst time. I mean, Chris Waters being hurt sucked, but then we added on, Castillo, who was admittedly fantastic down the stretch. So we got some decisions to make in the off season for sure. Running it back is not an option. We are too vulnerable at too many important positions. I need a center fielder I can trust. That is not optional, it is mandatory. And I don't think a center fielder is in my system right now. So we're going to have to go shopping. John Beamish sucked. He had plenty of opportunities to show that he could play the game well, and he didn't. House in the outfield is constantly the area that I always need to get better at. And every year I make some change to it, and every year it doesn't work. I mean, Chris Hernandez at least is decent. Chris Hernandez is somebody we can rely upon, but outfield needs upgraded. Rios needs to be DHing as much as possible. I mean, I don't know about Valle either. I don't know about him being a long-term starter at catcher. Pitching was great. The pitching I feel genuinely pretty good about. A starter's yard looked bad. Kyoji Doi should not be having years like this. He has gone backwards in terms of his actual ability to prevent runs from scoring, and that really concerns me because the fucker's only 24. Figure it out, dude. Figure it out. Oscar Balboa has been as valuable the last 3 seasons. This year, for whatever reason, he got victimized by bad defense. There is also a great trap with him, which is that he's losing velocity. I don't know if you noticed that, but he is losing velocity. He's approaching 30 or 31. He just got hit more this year for reasons that are mostly out of his control. The defense let him down. You can tell it by how different his FIP is from his ERA. I have too much money tied up in the wrong players. If we take a look at our most expensive players by salary, it's not a pretty picture. Who here was a big contributor for us? Doi, meh. Charles, meh. Maini, fine. Castillo, looks pretty good. Barely had it. Balboa, genuinely very good. Didn't get the credit for it. Horner, pretty great. Rios, fine. Shiflett, okay. But I am paying all-star prices for starter players. Has Seal's contract gotten any more recent? No, it's gone completely bananas. Oh, I can't even offer Castillo arbitration? That sucks. Yeah, I can't afford him anymore. His contract demands have just gotten ridiculous. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but that is very rude. I mean, we'll get Waters back next season, so whatever. I've got to make room on the 40-man. It's fine. It'll sort itself out. I guess I can just activate Barry and Bautista. Actually, I can just release Bautista. And that makes room for Waters. Man. This feels like a lost season. I guess the benefit is we're now going to get a decent draft pick next year, so we can start trying to rebuild the farm system to a certain degree. Maybe the lottery will be kind to us, but that was rough. I didn't talk enough about the pitching. I just pretended like they all did terribly, but we know that isn't true. Balboa, Castillo, whatever. Horner, Alex Garcia. This was a very much needed season. I needed a young pitcher to show that they had the chops to start for us, and that's exactly what you did. Um, fucking JoJo Tillman. I give this guy all kinds of grief, but he has filled every role I've ever asked him to fill, and he's done it with a smile on his face. Um, Dorian Charles, you gotta be better next year. You've got to be significantly better. Like, I don't just mean, oh, they're having a good season, hooray. I need you to be fucking incredible. Because I spent an awful lot of damn money to make sure you guys stuck around, and neither one of you has really shown that you're all that you're cracked up to be. Yeah. Like, the tale of Jaden Charles is he stopped striking people out. And he started walking people. He's gone from being a real flamethrower that could get the job done to somebody that just... I'm not saying he's ineffective completely, but I'm saying he's not the pitcher he used to be. He is 31, so I guess that makes sense. We've got to make change in this club. Okay, I don't normally do this, but I need to take notes because I will forget this. So we're going to say, create note, shopping list. I need new CF, better corner OF, possible SP, possible RP, less injuries. Yes. We probably need to do some change the scouting staff, which is fine. I need to spend arbitration on people, which is fine. Damn. I'm really bummed out at how badly that season turned out. Because this bill's just going to get richer. Like, this was the premium year. Dear, step up and say, check it out. Didn't happen. Andrew Picard did okay. I don't know how he did as well as he did, probably because he struck everybody out, but he did okay. Pitching, I probably don't need to go outside the organization for. I've got enough interesting pitchers that we can add on to, like Nick Ambrosio, for example, so that we can handle it. But offense is going to have to come from outside the organization. I'm going to have to either pay for it or trade for it, which I'm not looking forward to. It's tough sell. I guess that's it. I hope you enjoyed the episode despite the ignominious end to the nascent Chicago White Sox dynasty. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Comments down below. Share your own thoughts on what we could do differently. Maybe share a heartfelt reminiscence of how much you loved Tim McCarver. Maybe you'll change my mind. You won't, but maybe you will. But until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.